What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about all DLC that we know is coming in 2025 for Black Ops 6. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to thank everybody out there once again for tuning into my live stream earlier this morning. I'll be live again tomorrow as we celebrate Christmas Eve and get some more open lobbies going, but it's always a ton of fun grinding some camos and doing open lobbies with everybody out there. Once again, hopefully you guys have a safe and happy Merry Christmas if you're celebrating this week. Now, luckily, Black Ops 6 is off to a bit of a different start compared to previous Call of Duties, where not too much has really leaked out from some of the latest title updates, which to me is a breath of fresh air. I think it's nice and a big surprise whenever we as a community can take a look at a roadmap or a blog post and be surprised by a bunch of content that hadn't leaked prior. So let's first start off with the update that I believe is coming soon, and that's going to be update 1.65, which I believe we're going to end up installing before the end of the new year. Any day now, the update could become installable on all of our platforms, and I do believe it will end up marking the final update of 2024. That patch, however, may contain some information that could end up leaking for future seasonal content that will end up coming out in 2025. But there's also a strong possibility that title update does feature the Squid Games collaboration, which as of now has been confirmed to be a January 2025 update. To make things clear though, as far as the Squid Game event does go, nothing has been announced for it apart from a little bit of a preview from this blog post image and another teaser of a bunch of Squid Game guards on Area 99. Safe to assume we're going to be seeing operator skins through a bundle of some sort that features all the different mask shapes like triangle, circle, even square. The headmaster looks like he's going to be a playable operator, and we could all assume that red light, green light, or something that involves a ton of players is going to be put together for an LTM. But the recent blog does confirm we're going to be seeing content for multiplayer, Warzone, and zombies. Stay tuned for additional marketing, of course. But what's awesome is that January seems like it's going to start on a pretty hot note with the Squid Games collab, which I don't believe is going to drop any later than the second week of January, simply because around January 23rd-ish or that week, we're going to be seeing marketing for Season 2, unless the season does end up getting pushed back, which I don't think it's going to. I'll, of course, make a full-fledged Season 2 news roundup video once we do learn some more context and information, but that season is allegedly going to begin during the final week of January, according to the current Battle Pass timer, so it's safe to assume that Squid Game will probably last most of the month of January, and then we could end up seeing some other surprise drops apart from, let's say, the Cleaver melee weapon, which is the last promised weapon for Season 1. But speaking of weapons, as of now, this is a full list of unreleased weapons that are apparently going to be dropping in Black Ops 6. Of course, like I say with all rumors, take everything with a grain of salt, because you never know if some of these items may have been scrapped or are being pushed back for a much later season. So leakers are claiming we're going to be seeing the 5.7 pistol, the M72 Law launcher, the FAL rifle, which is a classic, the SAR-80, another rifle, the Pellington sniper, an ice pick melee weapon, followed by a bunch of other melees that I do believe are going to be tied to a collaboration with TMNT. Yes, I made a full video about this around, I want to say 2 weeks ago, talking about the possibility of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles event that is probably going to happen for Black Ops 6 sooner than later, considering that that property was very popular during the 90s. So apparently melee weapons including the Sais katana, a skateboard, the nunchucks, and even a bow staff were discovered just recently. And what are the odds those are the iconic weapons that each of the turtles use? So considering these weapons were already found, is it possible that collab is happening with Season 2? It's certainly a possibility, but again, nothing has been confirmed by Activision at this moment in time. Now, tonight's video is sponsored by Gamer Saloon. If you're looking to make some holiday cash just by playing Call of Duty, then you can check out Gamer Saloon. You can enter weekly $1 tournaments to play modes like Gunfight, Search and Destroy, or Warzone to win various amounts of cash. Gamer Saloon has been established since 2006 and has been a pioneer of online tournaments for real money. They've awarded over $100 million in prizes. Every new player that makes a deposit on Gamer Saloon will also receive one risk-free match. If you lose your match, then you'll get a full refund. Play COD, win cash. Check out Gamer Saloon with the special link down below in this video's description or the pinned comment, and thank you to Gamer Saloon for sponsoring tonight's video. But speaking of collaboration, shall I also remind you that Insider Gaming recently reported that apparently Call of Duty is also going to be crossing over with other big franchises like Doom, which also has a game dropping in 2025, so that could be perfect timing to collab with COD. That's of course another Microsoft property. We also have an alleged crossover with Gears of War. There's also a Gears of War game releasing in 2025, so you can kind of see the pattern here, right? They'd probably want to collaborate with a big franchise. It's about to be making the news everywhere and maybe dropping a crossover crossover with COD around the time that new title ends up dropping. And then to round things out, another Microsoft property that may end up crossing over is Halo. Now, there isn't going to be a new Halo game anytime soon. The TV show also didn't perform that well, so I'd be curious to see when we end up getting a crossover with a franchise like Halo. It's kind of a timeless series that can cross over anytime, and I'm sure it would still perform well. But if anything, I can see some of these crossovers best being saved for the rumored futuristic Black Ops game, which is apparently coming next year. But if you want more information about what could be featured in some of these upcoming collaborations, I made a crossover video just a couple of weeks ago. But apart from what could be some cool LTMs that come with some upcoming collaborations with Call of Duty, these are some other game modes that were reported on by Semtex Leaks a good, I think, month and a half ago. Again, these could be cut or leftover modes from previous titles that aren't meant for Black Ops 6 and Warzone, but figured I'd go over them anyway. So he mentioned Clash from Warzone 1 Caldera, Fireteam Incursion, which was cut for Cold War that may end up coming back, or just Fireteam in general as he meant, which would be an absolute blast because Black Ops 6 certainly needs a big mode like that. I think it would play very well with the movement. He also mentioned something called Hijack, More Battles, Rogue Rounds, Sugar Rush, Tag Trap, and even War Games. Could some of these also be modes that we may end up seeing for the Squid Games crossover, and these are just early code names for those experiences? Certainly a possibility, but I would always expect some new LTM of some sort with each new season of Black Ops 6. Now, before I forget, I also want to mention this specific Blackcell skin, which leaked out not too long ago. Reportedly, it's either a cut skin or one that we're going to be seeing in an upcoming season. Just to think back, though, over the last year and a half with the Blackcell bundles we've gotten, we've never really seen a Blackcell skin leak out for an upcoming season. Maybe some information here and there about the name of the Blackcell operator, but never have we gotten a full and early look at a skin, so this could be the Blackcell offering for Season 2 or something that was planned and isn't going to come out at all. But as a reminder, in 2025, there's going to be upwards of 150% XP boost if you own every Blackcell bundle by Season 6. You get different XP boosts stacked every single season, which you can combine with a double XP token. So if you get the 150% XP boost and pop a double XP token, you'll be getting upwards of a 300% boost by the end of Black Ops 6's life cycle. Now, I do want to go into multiplayer maps for Black Ops 6 because a number of them are rumored to be releasing in 2025. And before I jump into that list, I do want to point out the maps that we did get for Season 1 because we only got one reimagining, which was cool. It was Hacienda, but every other map was pulled from the Avalon Warzone space. So I'd be curious to see if every future MP map, or most of them, are also pulled from that Avalon Warzone map, which may or may not actually release for Battle Royale around a year from now. But I think the goal is always to see at least 2 to 3 original maps day one, maybe one more with the mid-season, and that's just for 6v6, right? Not to mention Gunfight or any other modes. Obviously, Gunfight or just Strike in general has gotten a good amount of support with BO6. Gunfight hasn't been playable in a while, but at least we're getting new Strike maps. I would certainly expect more of those. But other rumored spaces from Avalon do include Firing Range, Hazard, Dig or Courtyard, WMD, Outskirts, and even Yemen. And we can also see other original maps that maybe aren't from that big Warzone space, but Launch, as I made a video about recently, is also rumored to make a return, which obviously isn't being pulled from the Avalon Warzone map. So that gives me hope that we'll end up seeing some maps that either haven't been remastered ever before, or maps that we just haven't seen in several years, to the point where it's like the first time people are actually experiencing maps like that. But Zombies is where things get interesting, because as of recently, the Gobblegum Mania Challenge event did give us what could be a preview of a bunch of upcoming Gobblegums that may be returning from previous zombie iterations. So first off, Shopping Free was already confirmed by Kevin Drew on the COD Pod. Not sure when that one's coming out, but obviously it'll be 2025. We also know from the Gobblegum Mania artwork that we should be seeing Aftertaste, Fear and Headlights, Head Drama, and even Quacknarok. Now, some folks also pointed out the return of Flavor Hex, as well as some other leaked and data mined Gobblegums, which we don't have descriptions for and weren't in previous CODs. These include Absolutely Over There, that's one, and something called Dead Drop, both of which are going to be purple rarity. Now, rumored game modes for the future of Zombies include Grief, Turn, and even something called Classic, but Jingle Hells was already kind of just a classic mode, so maybe we're going to see a non-festive version of Jingle Hells that has some of the same rules apply to it if those modes are indeed coming. But other perks that have been rumored do include Tombstone, Death Perception, Mule Kick, and even the good old Double Tap. Fingers crossed for another original perk like Melee Macchiato, but either way, folks are most excited for a perk like Double Tap, which we haven't seen since BO3. only. But Zombies fans can also expect a directed mode for Citadel Day More in early 2025, whether that means before Season 2 or with Season 2, which is still considered early 2025, since it'll be the end of January when that content drop does release. But it's unclear when DLC 2, aka Dig Site, is meant to release. I made a full video talking about everything we know so far about that upcoming round-based map, but it's also been rumored the Raygun Mark II is going to be added in, which I do suspect is probably going to be a universal wonder weapon added to the mystery box on all maps, but only time will tell. But ladies and gentlemen, that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. That's every piece of DLC that we know is coming, if it's all not scrapped or cut, in 2025 for Black Ops 6 multiplayer and zombies. Once new information is learned about the Squid Game crossover event, or even what could be coming to Warzone at some point, I'll of course make a follow-up video to this one, including a big news roundup for Season 2 once we learn some additional information. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.